You wake up, and before your feet even hit the floor, you're already exhausted. Not from the job itself, but from the weight of repeating the same day over and over again. You open your phone. Everyone seems to be quitting, escaping, starting fresh. And a voice in your head whispers, maybe I should too. Your job doesn't excite you anymore. Even on days when things go fine, you feel empty, like your energy leaks out before the day even begins. You sip coffee, hoping for motivation. You open emails, already behind. You join Zoom calls and fake smiles, all while secretly thinking, maybe I just need a new job. But what if that's not actually true? What if the problem isn't your boss or your job description, but something far closer to home? What if you don't need a new job at all? You just need a new habit, one that rewires your mornings and reclaims your mind before the world gets to it. This video is about that habit, and it might just change everything. Let's be real. You don't absolutely hate your job. It's not a toxic environment. No one's screaming at you. You're not working 100 hours a week. And yet, you feel drained. All the time. Your energy is flat. Your motivation missing. And even when nothing bad happens, the day still feels heavy. You clock in on time, respond to messages, smile in meetings, get the work done, but inside, you're just done. You used to have goals. You used to care. Now you're counting the hours until Friday like it's salvation. You wonder, what's wrong with me? Why does even the smallest task feel so hard? And eventually, the thought shows up. Maybe I need to quit. Maybe I'm just in the wrong job. But what if that's not the real issue? What if this emptiness isn't about your job title, your team, or your salary? What if it's about how you show up to your day? Or rather, how you don't? Most of us are living in reaction mode. Wake up, phone, emails, notifications go. Before we've taken one breath for ourselves, the world has already taken over our mind. And we repeat that day after day, until eventually, life becomes something we tolerate, not something we engage with. That's not burnout from overwork. That's burnout from underconnection, underintention, under purpose. You're not weak. You're not lazy. You're just disconnected from yourself. And no new job can fix that. Because wherever you go, your patterns follow. Your habits follow. Your lack of inner alignment follows. The problem isn't always out there. Sometimes, the real storm is inside. Let's talk about what you're being told. Everywhere, on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, the message is clear. If you're not happy with your job, quit. If you're burned out, walk away. If you don't feel passion every day, you're wasting your life. It sounds empowering. It feels rebellious. And for a moment, it gives you hope. You imagine quitting. No more Zoom meetings. No more Slack pings. Just freedom, passion, peace. But here's what no one talks about. The same burnout. It follows you. The same anxiety. It shows up again, just in a different outfit. Because the truth is, quitting your job doesn't automatically fix your mind. It doesn't teach you emotional resilience. It doesn't give you structure or purpose or self-discipline. And the freedom everyone online talks about, for many, it becomes another trap of loneliness, pressure to succeed fast, and no roadmap. The modern world has made quitting trendy, but Stoicism teaches something deeper. You can't escape your mind. So train it. The Stoics didn't obsess over passion or pleasure. They focused on preparation, on building the strength to stay grounded, even when things got hard. So yes, maybe your job is stressful. Maybe it's not your dream. But before you leap into the unknown, ask yourself, are you escaping something external or running from something internal? So now you know. Maybe it's not your job that's the problem. Maybe it's not your manager, your coworkers, or your deadlines. Maybe it's how you start your day. The Stoics had a habit. One simple practice that changed how they moved through the world. Not loud, not impressive, not something you'd brag about on social media, but powerful. It's called morning reflection. Before the phone, before the noise, before the world has a chance to shape your mind. You shape it yourself. You sit in silence with your breath, maybe a notebook, maybe just your thoughts, and you ask a few honest questions. What kind of person do I want to be today? What might frustrate me? And how will I choose to respond? What's in my control? And what can I let go of? That's it. You don't need incense. You don't need a fancy desk or a sunrise over a mountain. You just need a moment with yourself, because that moment, it creates distance between you and the world's chaos. When you skip it, you go straight into reaction, straight into stress. You wake up already behind. But when you take it, you enter the day grounded, clear, intentional. Even if the job is messy, even if your boss is difficult, even if life is uncertain, this habit is your anchor. Marcus Aurelius practiced it. He wrote every morning in his journal, not to sound wise, but to remind himself how to live with strength, grace, and clarity. You can do the same. It only takes 10 minutes. You don't need to fix your whole life in a day. You just need to return to yourself before the world pulls you apart. So tomorrow morning, don't scroll, don't rush, don't react. Sit, breathe, reflect, reclaim your mind, and then face the day like someone who has already won. You're not the first person to feel overwhelmed by life or tired before the day even starts. The Stoics felt it too. That's why they didn't wait for life to be easy. They trained for it. And that training often began in the morning. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, burdened with war, betrayal, and duty, still began each day writing to himself, not to look wise, but to stay centered. He reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. His mornings weren't about productivity. They were about preparation. Epictetus, born a slave, later a teacher of emperors, taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. He believed that freedom didn't come from your job or your conditions, but from mastering your inner world. And Seneca, surrounded by luxury and politics, warned, if you really want to escape the noise, don't run away. Go inward. These men didn't escape life. They faced it head-on, with stillness, with clarity, with a habit of meeting the day before the day met them. And now, 2,000 years later, you can do the same. You don't need a title, a toga, or a temple. Just 10 minutes of quiet, a question, and the courage to look inward before the world pulls you outward. That's Stoicism, not a philosophy to read, a discipline to live. So how do you actually start this habit? Let's keep it simple. You don't need a perfect routine. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. And you definitely don't need to do yoga on a mountaintop. What you do need is a pocket of silence, a few sacred minutes before the noise. Here's how you begin. Step 1. Wake up 10 to 15 minutes earlier. No pressure, just enough time to sit with your own mind before the world starts asking for it. Step 2. Don't reach for your phone. Turn it face down. Leave it in another room if you need to. You can reconnect with the world later. First, connect with yourself. Step 3. Sit. Breathe. Be still. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to write a novel. Just ask yourself one good question. How do I want to show up today? What's likely to challenge me? And how will I meet it? What's out of my control? And can I release it? You can write down your thoughts, or just let them float. What matters is that you listen before the world speaks. Step 4. Repeat. Gently. It won't feel profound every morning. That's okay. Clarity isn't loud. It builds quietly over time. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is presence. And when you give yourself just 10 minutes of presence each morning, you carry strength into everything else. Start tomorrow. Small, honest, real. You'll be amazed what changes when you change how you begin. You might still be wondering, do I really want to keep this job? And that's fair. It's okay to ask. It's okay to want change. But ask yourself this first. Have I ever truly met the day on my terms? Have I ever started with clarity instead of chaos? With breath instead of panic? With choice instead of reaction? Because the truth is, it's hard to know what you truly want when you've never had space to listen to your own mind. The Stoics knew that. They didn't try to control the world. They learned to control the beginning of their day. That's where power lives. In those first quiet moments, when no one's watching, no one's demanding, and you can choose who you'll be before the world tries to choose for you. This habit doesn't fix your job. It doesn't erase your stress, but it gives you something far more valuable: ownership, clarity, peace before pressure. You show up different. You handle things better. You stop needing escape and start building presence. And maybe that's the real freedom. Not quitting everything, but learning how to return to yourself before the world tells you who to be. So tomorrow morning, don't reach for the noise. Don't scroll. Don't rush. Sit, reflect, rewire, and rise.